If you ask anyone which genre dominated the last decade of anime, we believe everyone will give you the same response without hesitation: Isekai.
Although the previous few years haven't been as amazing as they once were, we still enjoy the genre as much as we did in the past, and that's due to its unique concept of a new beginning that is so relatable to everyone.
And that is why we present to you today the top 10 isekai of the decade, which captivated us with their deep storylines, vibrant characters, immersive world building, and a lot of comedy in their courses.
Number 10, Campfire Cooking in Another World. Tsuyoshi Makuta is summoned to another world by a kingdom hunting for heroes, but he is not the one they want. He lacked combat ability and magical affinity, thus the kingdom freed him. However, Tsuyoshi has a particular talent called online grocery shopping that allows him to purchase products from Earth, and evidently, it was the most beneficial talent someone could ask for in a world without resources. Even though there are rarely any battle sequences in the series, after one season, it remains unclear what the major plot is about. Campfire Cooking in Another World with My Absurd Skill is still an excellent anime. Its most appealing aspect is its casual and lighthearted tone.
Number 9, The Rising of the Shield Hero. Naofumi Iwatani, along with 3 other people, are summoned into another world to be one of 4 chosen heroes to fight against the waves of calamity and save the Melromar Kingdom and the world from its looming destruction. Though things didn't go as planned, Naofumi was classified as the weakest hero due to his limited attacking capabilities, and he was betrayed by his teammate. Because of this upsetting tragedy, Naofumi is now on a mission to get revenge on those who have wronged him. Rising of the Shield Hero is the perfect example of how a repetitively used run-of-the-mill concept can be turned into something thrilling and exciting with some creativity. The Rising of the Shield Hero is both old and new and unique in terms of storyline. It explores and deepens the plot, unlike what other anime have done before. It was an interesting watch, and its core element of revenge made it even more interesting, which will keep your anticipation going throughout the series. Aneko Usagi and Aya have really done a great job with the pen, and Kanema Citrus really did an outstanding job adapting it to motion pictures.
Number 8, How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. If you enjoy the OP's primary characters, let me add a new one to the list. How Not to Summon a Demon Lord is one of the greatest MMORPG animes you'll find. It's a one-of-a-kind anime with fantastic characters and character development, plenty of action, and a touch of mature comedy. So it might not be for everyone, but still, for those who don't have a problem with a little fan service, it's a great anime. With that out of the way, let's get to the plot of How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. Takuma Sakamoto is a real-life loser, but an overpowered demon lord Diablo in the game Cross Reverie. One day, he is summoned inside the game by 2 girls who want to make Diablo their slave. Everything about their plan was perfect, but they chose the wrong guy to mess with. Takuma turns them into slaves instead. Now he is on an adventure with his new slaves to explore the world of his favorite game.
Number 7, The Eminence in Shadow. The Eminence in Shadow is another modern miracle of recent years in the isekai genre, illustrating that even with the overcrowded and repetitive archive of isekai anime, it is still possible to present isekai in a new way, proving everyone wrong who thought that isekai was dead. The series plot is as strange as it can get. Eminence in Shadow does everything in a grand way, with an overpowering protagonist, an unending harem of females, and intricate world building. But the star of the show is the protagonist himself, Sid, and his obliviousness. While being the most powerful character in the series, he is also the most foolish. Who will make you laugh with his nerve-ending stupidity? You should absolutely watch this series. Even if you don't find it intriguing, you'll end up enjoying the theme song.
Number 6, Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation. Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation is one of the few decent isekai anime to come out in recent years that hasn't dimmed the shine of the isekai gurn, but rather polished and given it a new light. The anime tells the story of Rudius Greyrat, who had a terrible and depressing existence until he was reborn into a magical realm. Rudius is determined to seize this opportunity and enjoy his life to the fullest. But letting go of the past isn't simple, but failure is not an option since Rudius knows what's at the end of that queue. Rudius enters this new world seeking a fresh start after learning from his mistakes in the past.
Number 5, No Game, No Life. No Game, No Life tells the story of 2 shut-in gamer siblings who are incredible at gaming but terrible at life, have no life skills, and believe that life is a tedious and boring game that isn't worth playing. When they received an invitation from a stranger to play chess, they decided to accept. Later, the visitor identifies himself as Ter, the true god of Disboard. Disboard is not your typical world. It is a realm where everything is determined by games. It was a perfect heaven for the duo. With their extraordinary gaming abilities, they acquire things that were previously out of reach, such as royal positions. But it pales in pleasant contrast to their ultimate aim, which is to become one of the gods of discord and challenge terror once again.
Number 4, Konosuba. Kazuma Sato, a 17-year-old housebound gamer, dies in a heroic death while attempting to save a girl. Following that, he encountered Aqua, a goddess who was in charge of reincarnating young people who died in Japan into other planets. Aqua recounts the narrative of how he died and then mocks him for dying that way, laughing in his face. Kazuma then vows to get revenge against her by pulling her into the world with him. They then set off on a quest to kill the Devil King, and along the way, they met some unusual friends. Comedy represents all this series has to offer in terms of uniqueness, and this series does an outstanding job doing it. Without it, this series would have been a classic example of isekai cliches and garbage. If you're looking for a fun anime to watch, Konosuba is well worth your time. After all, it isn't every day that you get to witness a useless goddess in action.
Before we announce our top picks, don't forget to subscribe and like the video so you don't miss any of these amazing videos in the future. Number 3, that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Office worker Satoru Mikami meets an untimely demise while trying to protect his colleague from a robber as he is drawing his last breath. He was thinking about how he had lived his life and about the things he wanted to do in his life and would do if he ever got another chance. With these thoughts, Satoru left the world, but to his surprise, he could still think and feel his surroundings. But somehow his body felt weird, which was because he was reincarnated, yes, you've guessed right, as a slime. Soon after, he meets the great storm dragon, Veldora, and from there, an interesting story unfolds. That time I was reincarnated as a slime differs from other isekai anime in a variety of ways, not just in the isekai genre, but also in the action and adventure genre. You could scour the whole anime collection and yet not find anything quite like it. A slime creature creates a nation from scratch. Okay, forget slime. We've seen some strong slime in anime lately. Concentrate on constructing a nation. Personally, we've never seen anything like this before or after. It was an enjoyable and fascinating concept. We hope to see something similar in the future.
Number 2, ReZero starting life in another world. Subaru Natsuki was transferred into another world on his walk home from the convenience shop and quickly got into problems with some thugs in the alleyway. And that was just the beginning of his dreadful isekai life. He was soon killed, but he discovered his special power that allows him to come back from the dead. The main character cannot die, and while some of you may dislike this story premise, it is the series' best element. The way it establishes the idea and builds the narrative is simply amazing. Aside from that, the characters in ReZero are well thought out and written, and the supporting cast is given their own chance to shine with intriguing backstories. There are also arcs dedicated to supporting characters, which is becoming increasingly rare these days, so it was good to see some anime working on them, rather than concentrating the entire series on the main characters.
Number 1, Overlord. When it comes to isekai anime, Overlord lives up to its name. Overlord is maybe among the best isekai anime ever made. If animation, plot, music, character design, massive combat sequences, and hilarious dark comedy are all pieces of a puzzle, Madhouse Studios has done an excellent job of assembling each one correctly.
Overlord stands out from other isekai and action anime due to its protagonist or antagonist, Ainz. We get to see a story from the perspective of a villain who is sensible, has plans for everything, and is prepared to do everything to save what is most important to him. He'll do everything, from ethical to wicked, and he won't stop until he gets his way.
With this, we conclude our list for the top 10 best isekai anime of the decade. Which one is your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more anime content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.